Hey, it's Millionaire Grant Lady, and thank you for joining me as I talk about what makes us different. Um, when it comes to a grant consultant, you definitely want the best and you want to know what makes us different. And so, the first thing that makes Millionaire Grant Lady different is that we've raised $50 million to help nonprofit organizations. I've personally raised $50 million. And a big reason why is because I'm honest. I'm honest when I say, hey, I think that your nonprofit can be successful, or hey, I don't think your nonprofit's ready for grants yet, and let's work to get you to that point. So, honesty is always the number one policy. The second thing is that we help position your organization for success with grants. And if you're a nonprofit getting ready to seek grants, this is so important. It involves thinking about your program from the funder's perspective. It involves thinking about it from a marketing perspective, and thinking about what it is that's going to make a funder feel like, yes, I have to fund that. Here's a big common mistake. You never, well, never is a big term, you almost never ask a foundation for money to hire staff. Instead, you ask them for money to grow your program. In fact, your successful program that needs to expand to serve more people to help the foundation make its impact. Do you see how that's different than saying, I need $50,000 to hire a full-time volunteer coordinator? Very different way to position your program for success. Another thing is that we help you think about the metrics for success. Almost all foundations require you to have metrics that prove that your program was successful. And so we help you pick the metrics that the foundations are going to want to see the most, and also that are the easiest for you to report, so that in 9 months, when you have all of this grant funding after you've worked with me, you'll be so grateful that you have metrics that are things that you already track and that are easy for you to track and easy for you to report on. Something else that we do is we pay very close attention to the matchmaking between the funder and the nonprofit, and we target your funders very carefully. I have read several foundation mission statements where it might say that their mission statement is very much in the human services, but then you look at where they actually give their money, and 75% of their money goes to museums, for instance. Well, if you're a human services organization, that isn't really a good match for you. So we look at targeting funders very carefully. And we also remember, and this is really important, a lot of people don't do this, that funders are people too. And they got into this work because they care and they have good hearts and they want to make a difference. You are also proposal number 34 out of a stack of 63 that this funder is reading on a Friday night. And you want your proposal to be one that they can read with a glass of wine and not go brew a cup of coffee in order to get through your proposal. So we remember that funders are people. We write to them like they're people. We write to them like they're good people who care. And that helps your organization stand out from the 63 others that have also applied and also need the funding. And we also really point out how the funder giving to your organization is going to help the funder meet their goals and help the funder make a difference in what they want to make a difference in. Because that's important and it's what's going to set you apart from the crowd. So these are all of the things that we do that make us different than almost any other grant consultant that I've ever come across. And it helps us to drive our success and get to above $50 million in funding. Thank you so much.